my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about postpartum depression. I really just kind of want to share my story with you guys and just kind of talk about it. I just really want to, for lack of a better word, I'm not exactly sure what word I really want to use in this situation, but I want to make it more normal, I guess. I want it to be something that normal that people talk about. I feel like for a lot of women, especially me myself speaking, I want to hide it. I don't want to talk about it. I feel like I should be, like, I'm a little bit ashamed of it. And I know that that's not okay. I know that's not right. I know I need to talk about it. That's like the best thing about it. The best thing for it is to talk about it. And I don't know. I just really want to make it a normal thing to talk about and not so shameful and not so, I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I really want to make a place and have a place where I can talk about this kind of thing, and other moms that are going through the same thing can talk to me about it, and we can go back and forth, and we can just have a really nice, good community where we can just talk and get things off of our chest and just have somebody to lean on. And so anyways, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So if you dealt with postpartum depression, you know that it's probably one of the hardest things to explain. You have so many emotions and feelings and doubts, and just it's all bundled up into your mind, and you don't know how to express it. And I think that's a lot of the reason why when you ask somebody, you know, are you okay? Do you need anything? We usually just say, no, I'm okay. And it's because we don't know how to explain it. We don't know the words to say. We just, for me personally, I just don't know how to explain it. How my husband asks me all the time, you're like, are you okay? Do you need anything? And in reality, I need like a million and one things, but I don't know how to express that. And so I just say, no, I'm okay. And then I just go on. And, but I'm just kind of lying to myself, and I'm obviously lying to him, because I do need help. I need something, and I just don't know what that something is. I do want to say, postpartum depression is different for everybody. Everybody has different symptoms. Everybody has different triggers. Some cases can be obviously a very extreme, and then some cases can be mild. But postpartum depression is something that's very scary and very real, and something a lot of women go through. 1 in 7 women actually deal with it. So if you think about it, that's quite a lot of people. You know, like almost everybody I went to high school with, they're all married and they all have kids. You know, that's a lot of girls. That's a lot of women that I know. But in just the thought to think 1 out of 7 of those people are dealing with it. And obviously that's just a statistic. So I'm sure a lot more women than just that are going through this. So that's another reason why I think it's so important for us to talk about it. It needs to be talked about. But I kind of want to go into more depth about the way that how mine is. The best way for me to describe it, and I actually just recently figured out my way of saying it, and that is, my joy is gone. Now, I think a lot of people get confused on happiness and joy. I think they think it's the same thing, and it's not. Happiness is momentarily, and it's usually based on like events or people. So yes, I can find my happiness in my children. They can do something and it makes me happy, but again, that's only momentarily. It only lasts for a short amount of time. Joy is something that's internal, and it tends to last like a period of time. Like you find joy in something that you're doing. Like say if you like playing basketball, you find joy in playing basketball and you enjoy it. It makes you joyful. I don't have that joy being a mother and a wife. It's just not there. It's gone. Yes, I am happy. I can find that happiness at times, but for the most part, it's not there. Um, I do things because I have to, not because I want to, not because I enjoy it. I just know that I have to do it. I mean, the kids have to be fed. Obviously, they have to be put to sleep. They have to be bathed. They have to be played with. All these things have to happen, so I do it because I have to, not because I enjoy it, not because it brings me joy. Um, I hope that makes sense. That's my best way of explaining it. Um, and I'm sure there's a much better way to explain it, but that is just how I can explain it for myself. And with my postpartum depression comes anxiety. So I can get very frustrated very easily. I can get overwhelmed easily. And I just don't want really any kind of contact, especially when it comes to my husband. We deal with this a lot, and he knows. I mean, and he's very understanding, but it can be very stressful. Like, I don't want to be super lovey-dovey. I don't want to just kiss him and hug him all the time, and he wants that affection, but I just don't have that joy inside me. I don't have that want or that will inside me to want to do those things, and I used to have that, and it's just basically gone, and I'm working really hard to bring it back and to figure out what I need to do to have that again. I still don't have an answer to that. I still have absolutely no idea how to do that, but I am trying to figure it out. And I think my first step is actually just kind of talking about it and getting it off my chest and trying to figure out ways to express it and why I'm feeling this way. And so yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to talk about it more and make it known and just kind of open up. And I'm kind of hoping that opening up opens other doors and other gateways, and people start talking to me and I start talking to people, and just whatever comes about, and it just kind of helps me and hopefully other people around, and it just helps us. So I actually think that it all started while I was pregnant with Banks. I think I might have maybe had a little bit when Brooks was first born, but not too much. I really struggled with breastfeeding with Brooks, and it really got to me, and I think I had more of an anxiety issue then, and I don't think that anxiety ever really went away. I just kind of put it on the back burner. I just kind of dealt with it, and so I don't think I really had it with Brooks. But with Banks, it's been almost since the moment I found out I was pregnant, and I'm still dealing with it. And actually, for a huge chunk of that time, I just kind of hid it and didn't really think about it, and then it kind of just clicked in my mind, and it kind of just all made sense, and I kind of realized, actually talking to one of my really good friends, she kind of made me realize that something is off, something's not right, and then that's when I realized that I think I'm dealing with postpartum depression, and I think I'm dealing with anxiety. Whether that has to do with postpartum or maybe I just have anxiety in general, I don't really know yet. I'm still working on myself and still working on it, trying to figure it all out. But it started when I found out I was pregnant with Banks. I didn't want to be pregnant. I didn't want to have another baby. Brooks was my whole entire world, and I was just not ready for that to change, because we did find out we were pregnant with Banks when I think Brooks was only about 10 months. And I just didn't want it. I didn't want that to happen, and it took a really bad toll on me while I was pregnant. But I think I was really good at covering it up. A lot of people say, oh my gosh, I had no idea that you were feeling that way. Now, every now and then I would say things, like, I'm not ready for another kid, or I don't know if I want this baby. And I feel like people just kind of laughed it off. Thankfully, I guess, for lack of a better word, I'm a stronger person, and I was able to get past that and through that. But for some people, they're not so lucky, and something serious could have happened. So I really wish that people would not have just brushed that off. I wish somebody would have really tried to talk to me about it. But then, I mean, Banks was born and all was well, and I was really happy, you know, that he was there. As soon as I seen him, I was madly in love with him, and all those thoughts really just went out of my head. And then, but they kind of swapped into different thoughts. He was there, and I wanted him, and I loved him so much. And so those thoughts went away. But then I felt like I really didn't have a chance to really bond with him when he was little, because when he was first born, he was born sick. He had the RH factor, and it was missed while he was in the womb, so we weren't able to. I was supposed to get shots and stuff like that while I was pregnant, and we did not get to do that. So he was born sick, and he threw up constantly, and he had jaundice, and so he was under the lights for 2 days, and I just never really got that chance to bond with him. And I didn't get a chance to breastfeed with him either. I think I did for like a day, but it just didn't work out. And then he was home for about 2 weeks, and I felt like it was maybe starting to get a little bit better. I was hopeful that I could start the bonding process with him, but then he got sick again, and he had RSV, and he was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and I was not able to hold him or barely even touch him, because the skin-to-skin stimulation, when I would touch him, it'd make his heart rate go like insanely high. And so when we were at Children's, we were advised not to really mess with him very much. So for almost a whole solid 2 weeks, I was not able to really touch him. So pretty much the first month of his life, there was very little bonding, if any at all. So when we did go home, I tried to bond, and I tried to find the joy, I guess. I really wanted to, but I don't think I could. I couldn't. I did everything I needed to do. I took care of him, obviously, but I did it because I had to, not because I wanted to. And I did it, it was just not there for me, and it breaks my heart that, like, because I love him so much, and I feel like I just don't have that bond with him, and I probably do, and other people probably think I do, because I know he cries for me, and he wants me to hold him and love on him and stuff, and I do it because I know he wants me to, but I feel like I don't do it because I want to, and I just hope that he doesn't know that. And I know he's little, and I'm sure he doesn't see it, but it's still really hard, and I wish that I had that bond and that connection with him like I do and did with Brooks when he was that little. And now that I know what's wrong, and I know that there's ways for me to cope and to deal with it, I feel like that's going to get so much better with him, and I'm going to have those feelings, and I just try to remember that he doesn't have those feelings towards me. I have those feelings, and they're not really towards him. It's just kind of how my brain is working right now, and I just have to figure the ways to work around that and to fix it and to cope with it. So I'm trying my hardest not to really, really think that it's affecting him, and I pray that it's not affecting him. But yeah, that's my way of explaining it, and I'm sure other moms out there know what I'm trying to say and how I'm feeling about it. My joy is just not there. It's gone, and I want it back. I want to do those things. I want to take care of him. I want to love on him and be his mommy, and I want to play with him and do all those things, and I feel like people get really confused because they see me doing it. But the thing is like, yes, I'm doing it, but I'm doing it because I know I have to do it, and I know that I'm supposed to do it. I'm not doing it because I want it or because I find joy in it, and that's what I'm missing. I'm missing that joy, and I need to find it, and it needs to come back so that I can be the best mom that I can be, and I can raise him the way I want to, and I can have that inside of me, and I just have to do what I need to do to figure it out and to find that joy in that again. And today's actually Friday, and I go to the doctor on Monday. I'm going to see my OB, and I'm just really I don't know if I'm gonna get on medication or not, and if I do, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being on medication, but I'm going to talk to him and just kind of figure out ways to cope and ways to deal, and just kind of see what he thinks needs to be the next step in this. So yeah, that's my plan, and I'm working really hard on self-love and self-care. I've talked about that a little bit on my Instagram. If you follow me over there, I feel like that's a big step, because I know that this is something that's inside of me, and it has nothing to do really with my children. It just kind of affects them, if that makes any sense. So yes, I'm just trying to work on me, and yeah, I really don't know what else to say. I'm just gonna end up breaking down if I keep going on. So I hope you guys understand what this video is about and what I'm trying to say in it, and I hope somebody can relate and kind of has the same feelings and thoughts. And yeah, I don't know, I really don't know what else to say. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.